Hi everyone and welcome back. We got a little bit different format here today for video, but yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, we're going to be doing
It's been a
some
minute.
predictions for the NHL play-in round and round robin, as well as a little fun draft lottery prediction at the end. So why don't we
Yeah,
hop right into
so
things in the East?
yeah.
So the first matchup will be Toronto versus Columbus. Simon, who do you think's going to take this one home?
Um Easily Toronto. I mean, Columbus is a strong team and last year they saw that, but I just think, if they were playing Tampa maybe. But I just think Toronto's just going to take it in 4 games, unless they have a little bit of a hiccup, like
Yeah,
David Harris.
you don't need to mention that. Well, I also
We're
think
just going to keep
Toronto's
it
going to
civil.
take it, but I think it's going to be a much closer series. It's probably going to go to 5 games because really here you have a close series between a very offensive and very defensive team. Columbus fought with injuries. They lost the most man games over the season, so they've been injured like the whole season. All these players are back. But Toronto, I think their offense, I hope they'll power through. And if Freddie Anderson's on top of his game, then I think that will be the case. Our next matchup is also in the East. It will be Pittsburgh versus Montreal. What do you think, Simon?
I think Pittsburgh's either going to sweep this or then will take it in 4. Like, I could see Montreal winning 1 game, but I say Pittsburgh's probably going to sweep it based on Montreal's play in the exhibition game against Toronto. I mean, Montreal could be an absolutely killer team and absolutely wreck Pittsburgh. I just didn't seem confident in them being able to beat Pittsburgh.
I also think Pittsburgh will take it in 4. I think they'll overpower the Canadians and Carey Price. But I think the Habs could steal a game, maybe a close one-goal game, maybe go into overtime. I think the Habs could easily steal a game here in this series. I don't think it's as far-fetched as people think that Montreal could maybe steal the series.
Yeah, I mean, and if they do, I bet you probably be on Carey Price's shoulders, but we'll see.
Yeah,
If
Carey
he's on top
Price
of his
is
game,
the big variable here in this situation of the series here.
oh no, definitely.
Next matchup is the New York Islanders versus the Florida Panthers. Simon, who do you think's going to take this one home?
I'm gonna say Florida, but I think it's gonna be actually kind of a close game or a close matchup, and it's probably gonna be 4 or 5 games, probably 5 games. But I think Florida. I mean, Jonathan Huberdeau,
Very skilled.
I don't know. I don't
Former
really
Sea
have
Dog.
former Sea Dog. Yep. When I first look at it, it's like Florida comes to my head that I think they're gonna win. They have a better chance. I don't know.
I think the Islanders will take it in 5. The Islanders, it'll be a close series, but the Islanders definitely have more playoff experience than those players on Florida. The Islanders, they were in the playoffs last year. They swept the Penguins last year in the playoffs in 2019.
Yeah.
So they definitely have experience here, winning a round and knowing what to do. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Florida hasn't won a round yet, and definitely, like you said, they don't have as much experience, but I have confidence. I feel like if Florida brings their A game, they should put up a fight.
Yep. Next matchup is the Carolina Hurricanes versus the New York Rangers.
You see, it depends on who Carolina wants to put in net here, Tyler. If they want to steal David Ayres from Toronto or what. I went with the Rangers here. I mean, it's going to be a fairly even matchup, I think. The Rangers are a pretty good team, and they have been for a while now. And Carolina, obviously, they had a stellar performance last year in the playoffs, and even though some people think that they're a bunch of jerks, but I think they're a good playing team and they have a good shot. It's going to be a close round, like close matchup. I say 5 games, but I think the Breadman and Lundqvist are going to pull through for them.
Well, yeah, I think the Rangers will take it in 4 because the Rangers, despite the seeding, have had Carolina's number this whole season. So you know what? I'm going to say it. I don't think it'll be that hard for the Rangers to win and take home this series.
No, I don't either. 4 or 5 games, I'd say easy.
Yeah. All right, now we'll move on to the West. The first matchup we have in the West is the Calgary Flames versus the Winnipeg Jets. Who do you think?
Definitely, Winnipeg's got a strong team. They got Connor Hellebuyck in net. Good goalie.
Yeah, he had a really good season.
I just think Calgary's going to take it in probably 5 games. Calgary's, fought their fight to build up a team to get playoff quality, so I think they're going to take it.
Yeah, I also think the Flames will take it, and it'll be a close series. I think it'll go to 5 games. Here's what I think. I think Calgary is going to start shaky. They'll maybe lose the first 1 or maybe 2 games. Hellebuck will shine, but I think eventually the Flames will learn and adapt, and their offense will kind of take over on against the Winnipeg Jets. They have a good team. They got Lane and Wheeler and Scheifele. They've got a good team.
Yeah, I just think that Winnipeg, has one of the best goalies in the league.
Yeah, and the more I think about it,
surprised if Winnipeg won.
Yeah, the more I think about it, Winnipeg could really easily take home this series.
I kind of want Calgary to win more here because there's some reasons coming up.
Our next series is Edmonton versus Chicago. So, who do you think's going to take it home?
Easily Edmonton. I said 3 games, but I could see it stretching to 4. Chicago in the playoffs is definitely a way better team than probably in the regular season. Mm-hmm. They got some veterans on there, Kane and
a lot of their core players from their cup runs are still on the team.
Yeah, so it's an older team, but definitely they could put up a fight here, but I just don't see them beating McDavid and Draisaitl. Like, it's just that combo. McDavid, he's just absolutely wicked. Just the same, or if not better than before the play stopped. Like, it's just absolutely amazing. The speed he's got and the skills. He just went through like the whole team when they were playing in their exhibition game. So
yeah, I also think Edmonton will clean sweep Chicago in 3 games. The duo of McDavid and Draisaitl will heavily outplay the Blackhawks offense of Kane and company, but I mean, don't get me wrong, playoff Kane is dangerous. He'll do well for his team, but, they'll ultimately be swept by the younger team of Edmonton. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Kane's got insane hands and stick handling, but, I mean, Draisaitl will put up an amazing year. McDavid's just got so much speed and so much agility. It's going to be a tough match, but I think Edmonton will very easily win. I'd really like to see McDavid get 2 or 3 rounds deep into the playoffs this year. It's another year wasted if they don't make it. Another year wasted. Right. I believe if Edmonton won and Calgary won, there's a potential for Battle of Alberta in the second round.
Yep. All right. And next matchup is Vancouver versus the Minnesota Wild. What do you think?
Probably going to take Vancouver on this one. Mm-hmm. Just because, they got Brock Besner and Bo
Horvat.
Yeah, and Quinn Hughes. They're the top 3 players on their team, and they're just absolutely wicked for their age and their skill. They don't really have terrible amount of playoff experience, but hopefully they can get far into the playoff, or do decent.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, I'd say, probably 5 games for these two. Hopefully it doesn't cause any riots this time around.
Yeah, I think this one will go 4 games here. Minnesota, they have an aging roster, so I think Vancouver has a big advantage over that. The young guns of Pettersson and Besser, they're going to combine to do very well, and Quinn Hughes will play very amazing, I think, this series.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Pettersson. He's amazing, man.
Yeah, he is. You might have some backlash when saying the top 3 players of that team and not including Pettersson. So I think they'll take it 4. Maybe I think a sweep could even occur here. I don't know if Minnesota's that much of a threat to these guys.
Yeah, it could swing either way. Like, really.
All right. So our next series is the Nashville Predators and the Arizona Coyotes. So what do you think?
I don't know. They're just I feel like Nashville is on a slow decline.
Yeah, that's true. I think so too.
And Arizona is definitely rising with that new Taylor Hall trade. I mean, I said Nashville in 4 games. I've always kind of leaned towards Nashville.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's nothing really too stellar, and I'd say both these teams will get eliminated in the first round either way. But
yeah,
I don't know. It'd be interesting, I guess.
Yeah,
but
I think
really
Nashville is going to take it here in 5. I think it'll be a closer series than most people think when they hear these 2 teams. Like you said, Nashville is definitely on a decline. I think they've had. Here's the thing, though. They've had a lot of playoff experience. I mean, Phil Kessel on the Coyotes, he's had a lot of playoff experience.
Yep.
So that's something too. And a lot of these young Arizona Coyote players, they're hungry for an appearance in the playoffs. So, but I think Nashville will edge them, and they'll take home the close series in 5. We head on to our round robin predictions. So, what do you think's going to happen in the East in seeding of the round robin?
I mean, no surprise here for what my prediction was. First overall, I'm going to pick Boston. Here's my answer for that and why I picked that: David Pastrnak. I mean, the guy's been phenomenal all year. Pastrnak can get up there and score along with Brad Marchand. Like those two together are a killer line.
That's true.
And then Tuukka Rask is, he throughout his entire career, he's put up a solid, save percentage, and he's a solid goalie all the way around.
And second place for you in the round robin in the East?
I picked Washington. I mean, Alexander Ovechkin, absolutely, probably the best NHL player of all time. like hands down. I know it's debatable. Everybody's like, oh, Wayne Gretzky, but I mean, Wayne Gretzky had a pretty straight, yeah, he played like 19 or 20 seasons in the NHL. He didn't suffer from any of the lockouts or any, pandemic, time away. So I actually kind of lean towards Alex Ovechkin being better than Wayne Gretzky. That's kind of the
I disagree on that, but because I think
it's a hot take, but
that's a whole other story to get into.
I don't know. I just think Washington's a solid team.
Yeah.
And then I had to choose third and fourth, so I picked Tampa because, well, I don't think the Flyers have been getting really good actually lately.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't see them being better than Tampa.
Yeah. All right. Well, my round robin predictions in the East, I am going to go with Tampa in first, then Washington, then Boston, then Philadelphia. Now let me tell you why I have Tampa at the top. They were the President's Trophy winners last season, and they want revenge for what Columbus did to them last season. They got swept. They want revenge. They're going to be hungry out there. They're going to take first in the East. Washington at 2 because I think they have an edge over Boston and Philly. And I'm going to tell you why. Boston, like, all of their core players a few weeks ago were deemed unfit to play, like a week or two ago. So that's why I think they're not going to be in their top shape heading into this round robin. So I think they'll drop in standings a bit to 3, and Philadelphia at 4 because I really don't think they compete with these top teams, but I might be proven wrong here. So that's my predictions in the East. Now we head on to the round robin in the West. Who do you have?
Oh, in the West? Now, I picked the Avs. I mean, Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, David Landeskog. They're just a solid team, and they always put out, like, good numbers. I mean, it's not absolutely outrageous. Fairly modest for being a really good team, but, like, honestly, I could see them taking it easily. I think most people would agree that the Avs have a really good shot at placing first overall in the West, even on top of the Blues. 2019 Stanley Cup champs. The Blues, solid team again this year. Absolutely came back, in February 2019, turned their team around and won. I don't see them edging out the Avs. I think they're a solid second. And the Golden Knights have had an amazing team ever since they've come into the league. I really enjoy, seeing their story develop, and I think they're going to be a solid third just because, they're a really good team.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't really have much to say about that, but I think they, the Stars can do something, but they also can, flunk, so.
Yeah.
All those teams have had a really good season, but overall I think the Avs are probably the best team there.
All right, well, my predictions in the West, I'm going to take the Blues at 1, the Avs at 2, the Golden Knights at 3, and the Stars at 4. Now, the Blues are the Stanley Cup champions. There's no doubt in my mind that they're looking to repeat, and their reasons to win this series here. They're gonna do really well in the round robin. They're gonna make sure they win this thing, and they're gonna go for the repeat. And the Avalanche at 2 because they have a very solid core of a team, and I don't see them really going anywhere lower than 2 in the standings here. It wouldn't surprise me if they did, but I don't see it. They have a very solid core on that team, and I don't see them dropping lower than 2. Now, for the Golden Knights at 3, they just have a very well-rounded team, and Fleury is an amazing goaltender. But I don't know if they're going to do too well in this round robin based on the Blues and Avalanche. I think they just have much better teams than the Golden Knights. And the Stars I have at 4 because they really aren't an offensive team here, and most of the other teams in this round robin are, and I think they'll overpower the Stars' defense. They won't really get much offense going for them in the round robin, so I think they're going to place 4th.
You really have to see how these teams perform after, 4 or 5 months off. There's a lot of variables, and it all depends on how the teams train and all this other stuff, too.
All right, now let's do a little fun draft lottery prediction. So of all the teams you pick to lose, a 12.5% chance, 1 in 8, who's going to take home the draft lottery for you, Simon?
Montreal, because they suck. Am I wrong? I think a good, solid, first-round pick might be just what the team needs to get back into a competitive
stance. Yeah, it'd be very lucky if they
and not being this, mid-range, but also not really an absolute terrible team. I just think that they have the best shot at it.
Yeah, I think Winnipeg. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Winnipeg. They're gonna take home the draft lottery. Lafreniere on that team would be quite well suited to his environment there. I'll take Winnipeg to take the draft lottery home.
You know what's crazy to think about is if, like, say Chicago goes out on a limb and absolutely,
Yeah,
like,
and then
terrorizes
Edmonton could get Lafreniere. That'd be crazy.
or
Montreal upsets
does
Pittsburgh.
beat Pittsburgh. Like, those teams don't need another, first round pick. But it's crazy to think that those teams could get another first round pick.
Alright, so that's going to do it for this video. So thank you all for watching. Be sure to check out our Instagram. It'll be in the description, as well as our Discord.
And stay tuned for more content.
Thank you for watching.
Like, comment, put
subscribe.
down in the comment. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.